Hello and good day. My name is Audrey Royem. I am your KW Durango local realtor here with a end of year, and what a year it's been. 2021 in Durango, Colorado has seen quite a change in the real estate scene. Let's check it out. So I've run a report for Durango, Colorado 81301, which is the zip code for this area. La Plata County is the larger county, and 81301 is going to designate what is definitely the town area and surrounding areas. In 81301, we are looking at a median estimated home value of $607,000, while in the county, we're looking about $50,000 less. We are $100,000 above average for Colorado and double what it is in the United States. The estimated home value for a 12-month change is a 26.5% increase. That mimics what we've also seen in the county, similarly in Colorado, and also on a national level, although much stronger in Colorado in 81301. We're seeing a median list price of $625,000, which is about $20,000 more than the home value because of the high demand and the low supply that we have on the market currently. That increase for just 1 month has risen 4.3%. whereas the national average has actually declined. So we're still seeing a lot of purchasing power here in this region. And we have an own percentage of 67% and a rental of 33%. That doesn't seem to tend too far off of the national average. However, we know that in Durango, it is extremely hard to find affordable rentals, and it's driving a lot of the lower income people to neighboring communities. We see in the bottom graph on page 2 the median sales price versus the sales volume, and we can see that in January of 2015 things were hovering for approximately 5 years at around 350,000, and since COVID hit mid 2019, it's just going up. And as we enter January 22, we are pushing 700,000. So that's extremely significant. And then in the lower part of that, we see that the sales volume has, the volume of listings, has stayed pretty steady. We had a spike that was a lot of people putting themselves on the market, but we don't see that now through this year because people aren't sure where they're gonna go if they do sell. So the value is holding high because demand is still so low. On page 3, we see the median list price versus the listing volume. Again, this replicates what we've seen. We see an increase in price and a decrease in volume. So that is per supply and demand. Price range of the homes sold is extremely interesting. We have a lot of $1 million homes sold, so over 102 houses. And then in the mid-range, 5,000 to 6,000, you'll see the most volume. So, we can see where different people are buying and what it is that they're buying. There's still a large demand for houses under 300,000, but there's just not any inventory in that area. And then in the price per square foot of homes sold, we are seeing the 300 to 350 range being a strong point. And then again at the 450, which is going to replicate the $1 million plus houses. So that's very interesting because given the supply chain issues that we've faced this year, you're seeing prices going up. I've talked to some contractors in the area. It doesn't seem like this is going to go down. They're still seeing supply chain issues. I tried to order a window for a house I'm building, and it was 16 weeks out to get that. So we're really forced to look at the supply and demand of what's going on in this area. And we have a large demand and very little supply. So you can scroll through page 4. It talks about the sizes and the age range. I think that's pretty interesting because it says that over 60 years old, there were 61 sales count by age of the house. So there were 61 sold in the 81301 area. And you do see a lot of older houses. I mean, 40 to 50-year-olds as well. These are old houses that are charming in the downtown area, and they require a lot of work to get them up to speed. Or in some instances, you can see what the city will allow as far as a tear down and a rebuild. But a lot of people are drawn to the charm of the older houses and want to preserve that, which is extremely understandable. And then in the number of bedrooms in homes sold, we have a greatest amount by far of 3. So you see a couple above that and then below that, but 3 is going to be the number of bedrooms if you're going to build. That's what people are looking for. The population of 81301 is about 31,000 people. In Colorado, we have 5.6 million. So you can see that we're still a rather small area. The density per square mile has increased significantly, 15.4% increase since 2010. Making the density just shy of 50, which in Colorado it's 54. The median age being 39, which is pretty interesting. We have an active young population. I think that 39 is an interesting an interesting age in this market, especially because COVID has allowed a lot of those home workers to work from home, and otherwise they would probably still be in the city. There's not a ton of job force that this town can support. We have tourism, we have the ski industry, the train, restaurants, but obviously with COVID, all of those things have shifted. So the fact that there is a younger population, they're driven here because of the activities and lifestyle, and then the flexibility that their work now provides for them. On page 6, we're looking at education levels of the population. I love this. Durango has above average grad professional degrees, with 20% of the population holding that, where the national average is just 12. And then we see at least a college education at 52%, where the national average is 32. So we have a beautiful environment to live in. We have an educated population that we're working with, and that is why #I love Durango. We love Durango, why everyone should love Durango. I'm going to skip over page 7. I think it has some pretty interesting stats that you can just glance at for a second. Okay, in the economic stats and charts of Durango, we see that the income per capita is $43,625. The county is 4,000 less than that, and that's above average for Colorado and also for the national levels. The median household income is at 71,000, and we don't have a ton of information about unemployment at this level. We do understand, just being a part of this community, that we've faced a lot of the challenges that have arisen from unemployment. There's a lot of businesses that have been faced to change, close down, or limit their hours. We're also seeing a lot of things going online, and so that's a double-edged sword. Are you seeing people not having jobs, or are they being created because there's not the people? So that's an interesting side note beyond the scope of this study. And again, the occupational categories have to do with tourism, real estate, and then we also have healthcare and social assistance. So that's a strong sector in our society. So yeah, feel free to look through the rest. We have walkability score of a 2.4. I feel like that should be higher. We love walking in Durango. You easily, if you live on the grid, if you live within the town limits, you can walk and bike everywhere. A lot of people don't do that. I personally do, and try to make that a part of my lifestyle. And for the AARP Livability Index for 81301, we get a 55 out of 100. And we can delve into what that means in another video, okay? Again, I'm Audrey Royem. I'm your local KW Durango area real estate, #whyilovedurango. Please be in touch if you have any more questions, if you'd like to know a certain neighborhood, if you are interested in building, if you are interested in developing. I am extremely experienced and would love to hold your hand through this process, facilitate it for you, and make it as pleasurable as possible. All right, we will see you next time.